doing here at Redeemer, and I know that we'll be blessed by his presence.
Thank you, sir. Once again, I'm First Lieutenant Peter Corcoran. I have the honor and privilege of serving with 1st Battalion 6th Marines. We just recently returned from our 7th-month deployment. Started in July 2011, we deployed to Helmand Province, Afghanistan, the most dangerous province in Afghanistan. We were there for 7 months, and just recently, early February 2012, we redeployed to the United States, to our home station in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. During our deployment, once again, we started off in Marja District, which a year and a half previous, 1st Battalion 6th Marines cleared. At the time, it was known as the last Taliban stronghold. It had 2 years to prepare for a Marine engagement. 1/6 went in, and they were successful in taking over the town, and within 6 months, bringing it back to the Afghan people. Once we got in country in July, by August we were told, we need you for another mission. And that was to go to the Kajaki district. Kajaki is well known to Americans in the 1970s because we built the Kajaki Dam, which is a hydroelectric dam in Afghanistan. Currently, right now, it is in need of repair, and there was no way to get there. And they asked the 1st Battalion 6th Marines to open the road. And that's what we did in October and November of 2011. We conducted multiple heliborne assaults into enemy territory, captured the ground, and once again turned that ground over to the Afghan people. To this day, they have 2 functioning bazaars that are open and functioning. They even have an ice cream shop. We thought that was unique and interesting. Over 5% of my battalion, because we're on the East Coast, are boys from the state of Ohio. So anytime that you have ice cream, you can assure that there'll be a Marine from Ohio there. We just thought it was a blessing in disguise. It was a tough deployment. We had Marines and sailors who were assigned to us who spent 3 to 4 months without showers. 3 to 4 months in heavy contact with the enemy. As we were preparing for this operation, I knew that one of the best things we could do was to send care packages from the state of Ohio. If they're not from the state of Ohio, they're from the Midwest. They're from Big Ten country. It's amazing how many people from the Big Ten were in our battalion. And football season helped us get through. One of my best connections as a graduate of the Naval Academy is to talk to the Alumni Association. I talked to Tom, who's here as a member of your parish. He's our president of our Alumni Association in Cincinnati. I got a hold of him just asking, hey, can you send me a couple of care packages? The boys would really love it. He saw what could happen to this, and he got in contact with Caleb Neely, who he mentors. Caleb, as most of you know, is an Eagle Scout. We're getting ready to become an Eagle Scout, and needed an Eagle Scout project. This is probably one of the most unique Eagle Scout projects I've ever heard of, sending over 100 care packages to troops. Once again, these were phenomenal. A huge set of your care packages actually showed up on December 24th. We were in the fight with the enemy, and we were under weather observation and weather advisories. That they didn't receive, some of these Marines didn't receive mail for 3 weeks. And on December 24th, we got this huge container of mail, and I want to say my Marines told me there was over 30 packages from Caleb. And they took those packages, and they just dispersed them around the battalion. And that was their Christmas present for this year, for those who didn't receive anything from home. So, on behalf of the Marines and sailors of the 1st Battalion, 6th Marines, can I please have Caleb come forward along with Tom? For Caleb, I'd like to present to you this American flag and this certificate that reads, "This certifies that the accompanying United States flag was flown in the face of the enemy over Forward Operating Base Robinson amid the fields of Afghanistan during decisive operations against enemy forces in Helmand Province on 26 January 2012. On this day, 1st Lieutenant Peter J. Corcoran dedicated this in honor of Mr. Caleb Neely." Signed by myself. Thank you once again. Tom. And so in order to recognize that, and being that he's the Naval Academy alumni president here, I decided to do a more interesting present for him, and that was to actually fly this Naval Academy flag that he sent to me in Afghanistan for him. I actually got multiple Naval Academy flags once I put out the request, and so I figured this one is important to him, and he should have it. So this certificate is going to go with it. This certifies that the accompanying United States Naval Academy flag was flown in the face of the enemy over Fort Operating Base Robinson amid the battlefields of Afghanistan during decisive operations against enemy forces in Helmand Province on 26 January 2012. On this day, First Lieutenant Peter J. Corcoran dedicated this in honor of Mr. Tom Schwarm. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again, both of you. For the last part of my speech, I guess, up here in this ceremony, is that I wanted to remember the 8 Marines and sailors that were killed in action in service to our country while we were over there. One of the things that we can do as American citizens is to never forget those who made the ultimate sacrifice. We were very fortunate, sounds weird, to only have 8 casualties of war. When we first were planning our operation, as I was in the planning cell, we were told to expect over 100 out of a unit of 800. So you can imagine how it is sad every day that we think about these 8 Marines and sailors. But we were very fortunate, and that was only 8. So what I'm going to do is that every time that we return home, we have a memorial service in honor of these Marines and sailors. And we wanted something unique in our battalion that we wanted to do was to come home during our leave period and to say these names in front of regular Americans so that they also can remember these Marines and sailors who have done so much for our country. I'll talk about 2 of them real quick. The first one was an 18-year-old from Oregon. He was a hospital corpsman whose job was to save Marines. He had been married for 6 months to his high school sweetheart, and he had died within 3 weeks of us being there, saving a fellow Marine. He had a forced scope wound, was shot in the butt. We put him on the helo, thought he was fine. By the time the helicopter got to the hospital, he had expired. The reason being is that the bullet had hit an artery that we couldn't see on the inside of his leg. The last Marine whose life was taken was a corporal who was actually leading a patrol through the bazaar when a suicide bomb went off. He did what he had to in order to protect the Marines around him. He did not want to have any care given to him, but for the rest of the people that were there. It took over 7 Marine Corps CH-53 Super Stallions that could carry 30 combat troops to take all the wounded Afghan, American, Afghan uniformed police to our medical facilities. And so, with that in mind, if you could just please stand. Hospital Corpsman, Fleet Marine Force, Riley Gallinger-Long, Corpsman, 1st Platoon, Cold Steel, 76th Company of the 1st Battalion, 6th Marine Regiment, killed in action on 11 August 2011 while conducting combat operations against the enemy in the Marshall District, Helmand Province, Afghanistan. Lance Corporal Travis M. Nelson, Infantryman, 1st Platoon, Cold Steel, 76th Company of the 1st Battalion, 6th Marine Regiment, killed in action on 18 August 2011 while conducting combat operations against the enemy in the Marsh District, Helmand Province, Afghanistan. Hospitalman 2nd Class, Fleet Marine Force, Surface Warfare, Brian K. Lundy, Corpsman, 3rd Platoon, Cold Steel, 76th Company of the 1st Battalion, 6th Marine Regiment, killed in action on 9 September 2011 while conducting combat operations against the enemy in the Marsh District, Helmand Province, Afghanistan. Private, First Class, Terry C. Wright. Infantryman, 1st Platoon, Black Iron, 75th Company of the 1st Battalion, 6th Marine Regiment, died in the line of duty on 21 September 2011 in the Sangin District, Helmand Province, Afghanistan. Lance Corporal Franklin N. Watson, Combat Engineer Platoon, 4th Combat Engineer Battalion, killed in action on 24 September 2011 while conducting combat operations against the enemy in the Sangin District, Helmand Province, Afghanistan. Lance Corporal Scott D. Harper, Infantryman, 3rd Platoon, Animal, 74th Company of the 1st Battalion, 6th Marine Regiment, killed in action on 13 October 2011 while conducting combat operations against the enemy in the Upper Sangin Valley, Helmand Province, Afghanistan. Lance Corporal Christopher P. Levy, Infantryman, 2nd Platoon Welder, 95th Company of the 1st Battalion, 6th Marine Regiment, killed in action on 11 December while conducting combat operations against the enemy in the Kajaki District, Helmand Province, Afghanistan. Corporal Philip D. McKeith, Infantryman, 2nd Platoon, Black Iron, 75th Company of the 1st Battalion, 6th Marine Regiment, killed in action on 18 January 2012 while conducting combat operations against the enemy in the Kajaki District, Helmand Province, Afghanistan.
Peter, before you announce the processional hymn, on behalf of the people of Redeemer, we want to thank you for being here with us, gracing us with your presence, representing your troops, and we just want to say thank you for our service, and go with our prayers, and the prayers, of course, of many, many, many more. Thank you. Peter needs to get to his grandmother's birthday party in Chillicothe, Ohio, and so we're going to release him. But before we do that, remembering those who we just spoke of, we are going to sing Eternal Father.